What's going on, ladies and gents? Thanks so much for clicking on this video. Today we're going to be talking about 5 habits that will up your mental health, and I'm only just speaking from experience. These are all things that have helped me, maybe not successfully all the time, but they have helped me just balance, have good mental health. Obviously, none of us are perfect. We still have our struggles, but I do believe that if you were to implement one of these habits that we're going to be talking about today, then you'll definitely find some more balance in your life. You'll find some more mental health, and hopefully you won't bang your head up against the wall like I have in the past. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive straight in. But before we do that, almost every video that I get on here and do, I had to have a little jam sesh, and I figured why not bring you guys in all that with me real quick. So let's just vibe out real quick. Excited about this song because this artist that's playing is going to be at EDC, which we're going to here in a couple months, or actually a couple weeks, and it'll be my first time seeing this guy live. His name is Matt Fax, and if you haven't heard his music, you should definitely go check him out. But let's not get too carried away. Let's go ahead and dive straight into the first habit. This first one, it's nothing new, but it's worth repeating. Take care of your body, take care of yourself, take care of you before you focus on work. Carve time in the mornings if you can. Take care of yourself first, because you have to fill your own cup up before you can give to others. Maybe a little selfish, but we have to be selfish in order to be selfless. And I do believe that we have to take care of ourselves first. Exercise, go on a walk, go lift some weights, go sweat, because in that process you're releasing endorphins, and you're also wiping out any potential stress that you might have after waking up and going into the new day. I know for myself, there have been plenty of times, hell, even this morning, where I was battling a lot of self-doubt, or maybe it was just feeling a little anxious, and just going to exercise and getting my mind off of what I had to do that day and more so on just myself allowed me to really get my mind off of it, show up fresh to work, and maintain my sanity. There's so many options at home that if you don't want to go to the gym or get a gym membership, there's plenty of ways to still get that exercise in to release those endorphins so that you can show up for work properly. Another thing that I do want to include in the morning is, sometimes this anxiety that we can wake up with can be dealt with. We can numb that anxiety by writing about it. Get those thoughts out of your mind, because it's not doing you justice just sitting up there. So get it out, get it on paper, and you'll find that you'll find clarity, and you'll also be able to just get it out. Those are some of my suggestions for, taking care of yourself in the morning. There's plenty of other things. Drink coffee, read a book. Just prioritize yourself first, I think, is what this is actually trying to get at. This next one seems to be, floating to the surface lately. I think the whole world is kind of shifting towards this direction where we're starting to really understand the value of sleep, and that's great, but it's worth mentioning again. Get proper amount of sleep. I suggest 7 to 8 hours. Me personally, I don't cut with anything lower than 8 hours, even on the weekends. I just need my sleep. I have a friend who thrives on 5 to 6 hours of sleep. While I might be somewhat jealous of that because of all the things that I could do with the extra time, I'm also just kind of like, to each their own. Whatever time you go to bed doesn't necessarily matter as much as the quality of sleep that you're getting and the amount of sleep that you're getting. I used to be a night owl. Before I met my girlfriend, I used to never go to sleep before midnight, which is actually crazy, because when I started to switch that up, I remember thinking wow, I can't remember the last time that I did go to bed before midnight. And looking back, I'm really glad I made the decision to start waking up earlier. We've been actually waking up at 5:30, give or take, here and there, and it's just allowed so much more time to fill my cup up, and allowed me to carve out the time when there's peace and quiet. Do whatever suits you, but prioritize your sleep, because the sleep is going to give you the energy the next day to show up exactly how you need to in your work. This next one is a new habit that I've been trying to implement. I've seen so many benefits from it, and I've also just seen some, self-awareness from the times that I haven't done it. But this next one is write out exactly what your next day will look like before you go to bed. This could be after work, before bed, whatever. But as long as you have a plan and you reflect before going to bed. I have a mentor who suggested to me that, I should be in bed 45 minutes before I fall asleep. And in that 45 minutes, I need to have no sort of like crazy distractions. I definitely don't need to have my heart rate up. This is something I feel super passionate about talking about right now, because last night I disobeyed that rule and I was watching Formula One before falling asleep. And I thought that was a good idea, but I didn't realize that towards the end, there was one race and it was getting my heart rate up like crazy. Like I was actually like having a tough time watching it because I was just like crawling, just like, who's gonna win? And today I definitely felt the repercussions of that, the lack of focus. I woke up tired. I woke up in my head a little bit. I woke up a little anxious. There's a lot of value in the fact that you need to really not only get good amount of rest, but carve out quality time for yourself before you go to sleep as well. And on top of that, having a plan for the next day is so beneficial because you wake up and you're ready to go. You already have the day planned out. It's just a matter of getting to it. It's just like how they say, if you're wanting to start a new habit with going to the gym, maybe set aside the gym clothes before bed so that when you wake up, it's just a matter of getting to work. It's just a matter of grabbing the clothes, grabbing the shoes, putting it on, and getting out the door. There is no time to make a decision, no time to waste your energy on making up that decision. Just do it and get to it, baby. I don't know why I just said that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and, move on to the next one. This next one, I think, is something that we should all very much do. This next one is getting off at a consistent time every day. I know there's some of you out there who are workaholics and you think that every waking hour needs to be productive and that every waking hour that you're not being productive is time wasted. And I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. You need balance in your life. You need to get off at a consistent time. Let me take a step back. You should get off at a consistent time every day. For one, it's going to allow you to show up and do your work more efficiently because you have a deadline, so to speak, or a cutoff time. Two, it's going to carve out time for you to make room for other things in your life that you value, like your hobbies or your relationships or your dogs or your animals. And three, it's just going to allow you, that balance of my life is not all about work. I think sometimes we think that life is all about work. You could die tomorrow. Let's just be honest. I'd hate for you to, be on your deathbed and think, wow, I just worked my whole life away. I didn't enjoy anything. I didn't build any relationships. I didn't build a relationship with myself. I just worked all the time. I don't want that for you because that's sad. And life is short and we should really remember that. Now, the fifth tip is to take control over your notifications. You could say this falls into the category of just really managing your social media habits well, because it's easy to get carried away. We all know the repercussions of getting carried away on social media. The comparison trap, just the anxiety that comes from feeling like you're not up to speed with where you should be. Social media, the main thing that really bugs me about it is just that comparison trap. I really can't be on social media too long or else I give into that too. And it's just so unhealthy. Maybe during work, this is more so the case. If you need to, treat it as, you being a producer and not a consumer. Don't sit there and consume content during work because that is valuable time that you can be getting work done. And you don't need to be sitting there comparing yourself to other people. Attention and time is scarce. So, the less of that resource that we use for ourselves, the more we hurt ourselves in the long run and in the short run. I mean, there's just so many reasons why the notifications that are coming into your phone every day should be limited. That's a good word. It should be limited because it just should be limited. There's no reason. I've already explained enough. All right, so this last tip is a bonus tip, and it's finding a hobby outside of your work. Kind of hinted at this earlier, but this just helps create balance because sometimes, at least I'll speak for myself. In the past, when I was doing photography and filmmaking, all I could think about was photography and filmmaking. And even outside of work, I was just constantly watching videos about it. I was constantly thinking about it, constantly thinking what idea could I be doing next? in a toxic way. This is not a healthy way. In reflection, I didn't really have anything to balance that with because my life was all about photography and filmmaking. It was exhausting, honestly. But finding a hobby outside of your work gives you, just another reason to have like a feeling towards something, right? Recently I picked up, no, it actually hasn't been recent. It's been a while now, but maybe a year and a half ago, I picked up mixing on the DJs. Man, has been so freeing. It's like it unlocked this whole new like passion in life just for living and being alive. As we can tell, I really love, music. I love electronic music. Specifically house music is my favorite. That kind of stuff really fills me up, and being able to mix it and to just spend that time with myself, maybe have a beer while I'm doing it, maybe two, just relaxing and having something to look forward to outside of work really helps me show up for my work even better, because I know that quality time is spent straight for work, and as soon as I'm done giving it my all, I can go relax and have a beer and mix some house music. So find a hobby that suits you. It can be anything, riding a bike, flying a kite, swimming, anything, playing guitar. Music is just a great release, I think, in my opinion, especially for us creatives, because it gives us a new vehicle of expression. That stuff is really liberating when you can actually lean into it and take it seriously. But most of all, have fun with that hobby. Don't make it your second job. I think that's even more worth saying. This should be something that's leisurely, it helps you relax, and it's fun to do. And that pretty much wraps it up, guys. These habits really mean a lot to me, and I tried to pave the way towards maybe some uncommon things that aren't being talked about as much as other habits. I think that most of all, as a creative, as someone who works from home, we have to be our own boss. We have to be our own CEO, and we have to act as if our self-CEO is showering over us or towering over us, making sure that we're staying in order and we're doing everything we need to do to stay balanced. We kind of have two jobs, We have to find balance in our jobs, and then we have to do our jobs. So hopefully this was helpful, and if it was, make sure, show some love. Honestly, the most thing that I really care about is just hearing comments from you guys. So if anything resonated with you, please let me know down in the comments, and I would love to start a conversation. Before I head out, what did y'all think about this setup? Me and Caroline, we got this new dinner table. We got it on the Facebook marketplace, and it was only $50. Straight steel. This is so antique. Look how nice it looks on here. The brown and green tones right here. God, looks so sexy. Anyways, thanks for vibing out with me. If you'd like to keep up with me on socials, you can follow me on Instagram at AshtonTJoe. I just started TikTok not long ago, so we're bumping up the short form content, baby. I actually just posted my first YouTube short yesterday, and it's got 15 views, so no, just kidding. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Stay safe this weekend, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace. 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 Maybe I should think of a new concluding line, because I think not feeling the peace anymore. Peace.